Alright, for our first video for stop number 1 here in pit stop A, we are going to be talking about one of the types of energy. We're going to talk about one type in pit stop A and the other type in pit stop B. In both of those we're going to use a foldable, so you should have a bright colored piece of paper that we're going to make into a 2-door foldable. So if you fold it in half like you're folding it hamburger style, but don't quite go all the way down. Okay, we did one like this before, I think, for physical and chemical changes, because we're going to write something down here. Okay, so if you leave a little bit of space, then make the crease. Okay, so if we turn it sideways like this, we have one big window flipping up. But actually we want two, because I said we're going to talk about 2 different types of energy. So with your scissors, I want you to cut the shorter piece in half. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just do the best that you can. Okay. So now we should have 2 doors here and here. Okay, and we're going to start with looking at some pictures, some picture examples. So you should also have this half sheet of paper that has 6 different pictures on it. And if you notice, they come in pairs, and in one picture the object is still, in the next picture the object is moving. So for example, the girl is holding the ball, and then the ball is falling down. She's thrown it. These two go together. In this one, the ball hasn't been kicked. It's sitting still and he's about to kick it. And in this one, it has been kicked. These lines are representing motion. And in the last set, there is a big ball or maybe a boulder, a big rock at the top of the hill. And then in the second picture, it is moving down the hill. So all of these arrows and lines are representing motion. So what I want you to do is to cut them out into 6 different pieces, and we're going to divide them into the ones where the object is still and the ones where the object are in motion. Alright, so now that we have our pictures cut up, like I said, we're going to divide them into 2 groups. One where the ball or the object is still, and the other where it's in motion. Okay, so then we have the soccer ball is still, and the soccer ball is in motion. Okay, and we have the ball at the top of the hill is still and in motion. So go ahead and glue them down just like that. Alright, so when you're done, it should look like this, and we are going to today we're just going to talk about, in this video, the side on the left. Okay, and all of these are representing a type of energy where the object is actually not in motion, and we call that potential energy. So I'm going to write that at the bottom. Potential, P-O-T-E-N-T-I-A-L, energy, E-N-E-R-G-Y. Okay, remember, we're only talking about this half right here. So when we're talking about potential energy is what we call stored energy. So I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to write that at the top right up here. That's what we call stored energy. It's not energy that is in motion. An object isn't moving yet, but it's stored up and it's ready to move. Or sometimes we say it has the potential to move, and that's why we call it potential energy. Now, the amount of potential energy that an object has depends on 2 things. Okay, we're going to say that it depends on mass and what we call position. Okay, so let's start with mass. If we have, say, like a little cliff or edge right here, okay, we have 2 of them, and on one we have a very large, say, boulder. Okay, that's what we call like a big rock. And then on this one we have a much smaller boulder or rock. The object that has more mass is going to have more potential energy, and the object that has less mass is going to have less potential energy. Okay, assuming that these are at the same height, say they're sitting on the same ledge. So we're going to say right here, more PE, and I'm going to use PE just as initials for potential energy. And then this one is going to have less PE. Okay, Position is the other thing that depends, or that the amount of potential energy depends on. And here, I mean position from the ground, okay? Or another way to think about it is kind of like height. Say we have a really tall ledge, and here we have a really small ledge. And the object that is sitting on there, the boulder or the rock, is the same size, okay? The higher from the ground it is, the more potential energy it's going to have. The closer to the ground, the less potential energy it is going to have. Okay? And that's where we'll stop, and we'll finish the foldable in the next video.